Welcome back. From the previous slide, we have seen that what particular topic we are going to discuss today. It's nothing but the decision theory. And in this particular video, basically, I'll be discussing about some theoretical aspect and few numericals also. So what exactly is decision theory? Every person has to make some kind of decision. And these decisions that we are going to take, it can be trivial into nature. From the time we get up in the morning and by the time we go to bed, we make n number of decisions during the particular day. Some of the decisions can be a housewife. She has to think a lot if there is a guest which is expected in her house. That okay, what should I offer? I should be offering her tea, or should be offering her juice, or I should be offering her cold drinks. Similarly, a working person, he has to decide whether to take a rickshaw today to reach to destination, or he can go by walking, or he can take a taxi or any other mode of transport that is possible. A student has to decide that how many hours he is going to give for studies to a particular subject. Now, every decision is of utmost importance, isn't it? A businessman can be in a position that he has to expand his business. Now he has two choices, whether to take a loan from the bank, or he has then another choice to take a loan from the money lenders from the market. Now, what is the best decision that is going to be there for him? So there are certain decisions which are personal judgment of the decision maker. It is personal judgment of the decision maker. If there is only one course of action, I repeat, if there is only one course of action, no decision is necessary, and choose the given course of action to solve the problem. But the problem happens when I have more than two courses, or when I have certain alternatives available in front of me. For example, I have taken example, I have to go to a station. If I have no choice, if I have only two-wheelers to reach to the station, but obviously that is only one action. But I can take an auto rickshaw, I can take a taxi, I can go by walking, or I can take my bike, I can take my four-wheeler. So these are four different alternatives which is available in front of me. That becomes a problem, that what is the best action for me, right? So we have to make a detailed and careful analysis of the various actions involved in each situation, and then decide which is the action which is best for me. There are certain elements of decision making that we need to understand. There are four steps involved in decision theory approach. First is called as actions, which we normally write it as acts. Second is states of nature, or also called as events. Third is payoff, or we also call it as payoff table. And fourth is nothing but the decisions. The administration of a company or any firm is to take decision about the development or the expansion of the company. There is no doubt the concern has to face so many problems from time to time. The problem can be regarding the resources which is available to the company. It can be quality of the production which is going to take place. What about the costing part? What about the revenue part? What about the publicity, the advertising, or what kind of promotion is required? We have to think of the different modes of the publicity that we are going to make, so that my good is visible to large number of people. The manufacturer or seller may take the help of the television media. It can go to the radio, leading newspapers, or it can be door-to-door campaigning. Many such endless problems are there, and each of these decision-making problems, there are some components. There are certain components which are available, so we'll discuss in the few minutes. Okay, so let's understand this way. In process of decision making, there are certain number of steps. First is identify the problem. Second is collect all the necessary information. Next, I have to identify the available alternatives. Then we have to do some cost benefit analysis for every alternative which is available in front of me. After that, we have to select the most appropriate alternative, and based on the selection of the most appropriate alternative, we have to execute or implement the decision. There are certain terms that we need to understand. First is event or state of nature. It's nothing but a phenomenon which occurs in the external environment. Example is demand situation. And please do understand that this particular event or state is not in the control of decision maker. For example, a student has to decide to a best college and he is looking for the best library. Now, the library is good or not, it is not in the control of a student. So, action is to select the best college. And what is the event? Is the library. He is looking for a good library, he is looking for a good canteen. But canteen or the library or any other part that a student has into his mind, it is not in his control. Then we have decision or strategy. Is a course of action which is available to the decision maker to encounter certain possible states of nature or events. And this is in the control of the decision maker. Then what is risk? It is a situation of risk, means the situation when respective probabilities of various states of nature are known to the decision maker. Then uncertainty means a situation when no possibilities or information is available about the possible state of nature. Then payoff, because most frequently we are going to use the term payoff table. So what is payoff? It represents the revenue or profit which is associated with a particular strategy or the actions. That is the final decision that we are going to take. Regret represents the opportunity cost or loss which is associated with a particular strategy or course of action. Okay, moving ahead, we have decision criteria, and there are two types of decision criteria. First is decision making under certainty, and second is decision making under uncertainty. Certainty and uncertainty. Again, there are two categories into this. First is where the probability is not given, that is non-probabilistic. And second is probabilistic. Under non-probabilistic, we have first one. It is called as optimism criteria. Which is nothing but maximax or minimin. It's minimin criteria. Second, pessimism criteria. Under this, we have two types: maximin or minimax. Third, it is equal probability. and that's called as Laplace. Then we have coefficient of optimism. That is Hurwitz. And the last is regret criteria. I'll explain each of these terms once we take up the example. Under probabilistic, we have another name for this is also called as it is uncertainty under risk. The points that we are going to cover under this heading is EMV, that is equated monetary value. EOL, expected opportunity loss. Third is EVPI, EPPI, and then we have decision tree, that is the graphical representation of solving the question. So this is all the flowchart what we are going to study in this particular chapter. So please keep watching my video for the next questions that we are going to take based on to this. I repeat, I'll just recall what we have done. Under decision criteria, we have two types: decision making under certainty and decision making under uncertainty. Under uncertainty, we have two types: non-probabilistic and probabilistic. Under non-probabilistic, we have optimism criteria, that is maximax or minimin. Second is pessimism criteria, which is maximin or minimax. Third is equal probability, that is Laplace. Fourth is coefficient of optimism, that is Hurwitz criteria, and the last is regret criteria. Under probabilistic, we have EMV criteria, EOL, EVPI, EPPI, and decision tree. So I'm sure you'd have understood the basic idea behind this particular chapter. In the next video, I'm going to take up the questions under non-probabilistic, and in the next video, that is second video, we'll be taking the question based on probabilistic. So keep tuned and like, share and subscribe my channel and share with your friends also. Thank you. Have a good day.